Welcome back everybody to another LEGO Star Wars video. In today's video I'll be bringing you guys an important video with only 2 days left of the year and more importantly only 2 days left of the decade of the 2010s. I figured this would be a cool video to make and pretty much go over all 10 years of LEGO Star Wars and kind of pick out the number one set, either publicly or just kind of myself. I'm going to kind of put both of the opinions, in this video together. I'm going to pick one set per year, kind of do a quick video, give my thoughts on them, and if you guys agree with me, comment down below. If you guys disagree with me, comment down below as well. So let's get into it, guys. Starting off with the first year, 2010. I got to give that to the 102-1 to the UCS Imperial Shuttle. And this is an obvious one. I feel like this is, obviously the best set of the year. For what it is. The price, of course, back then was much more reasonable than it is now. This is personally my favorite of the 2010 year, and I know it's probably a lot of your guys as well, but if you guys do agree with me, let me know. If you guys don't, also let me know. So that's my 2010, guys. Again, I'm just gonna kind of quickly go through these, my opinions on them, and you guys can leave your list, in the comment section as well. Moving on to 2011, we have the 102-1, the Super Star Destroyer, and this is definitely, I feel like, a UCS set that kind of gets, thrown under the bus, I guess. Not a lot of people, I feel like, talk about it anymore, especially with the new UCS Imperial Star Destroyer, that's out. Not a Super Star Destroyer, just the regular one. I feel like this one, unless someone actually has it, from, 8 years ago, I feel like not a lot of, new talk is about it. So I think this is still the best set of the year. I don't have the set personally, just like I don't have the Imperial Shuttle, both high up on my list. I would genuinely probably rather have the Super Star Destroyer than the new regular ISD, so there's pretty much my thoughts on that. Moving on to 2012, we have the 95260 the Palpatine's Arrest. And the first non-UCS set on the list, and that's mainly because 2012 didn't really have that many UCS sets. It was just like the R2-D2, and that's about it, which I gotta give, the Palpatine's Arrest as an entire set probably a better ranking, and this one's definitely higher on my, want list than the R2-D2 buildable kind of, UCS set. Mainly because Episode 3, favorite movie, favorite scene, all the characters are fantastic. They really outdid themselves in that set, with all the printing on those figures. So that's pretty much my thoughts on that. Moving on to 2013, we have the 75021, the Republic Gunship. Another year where the UCSS didn't really do too much for me. It was like the X-Wing, the Red 5 X-Wing, which, I have it sealed, but I have really no intention on building it. I don't really think it's, that needed of a UCS set. It's cool, but I don't think it's, of course, anything fantastic. So that's why I got to give it to the Republic Gunship. I think it was, a toss-up. 2013 was a really good year for clones. It was kind of Attack of the Clones here, in LEGO. So I feel like between the Gunship and the ATTE, it was definitely a fan favorite year. Moving on to 2014, we have the 75035. This is kind of a 2-in-1 for this year. A lot of great sets in 2014, honestly. A lot of great system sets. The UCS sets, again, were kind of, subpar. But I got to give this 2014 spot to the 75035 Kashyyyk Trooper Battle Pack and the 75036 the Utapau Troopers Battle Pack. Two fantastic battle packs that we might not ever get anything kind of like that again. Hopefully, when, the 501st Battle Pack comes out, and, it's such, it's like the Utapau, the Kashyyyk, where there's two, 501st clones, kind of, then two other clones, two, 501st ATRT, two regular 501st. That would be ideal. But the 2014 battle packs were honestly very great, all three of them. So there's pretty much my thoughts on that, guys. Or actually, all four of them. There was four of them in 2014, right? I believe so. So moving on to 2015, we have the 75095, the UCS TIE Fighter. I do have this set built, actually right next to me. I think it's a beautiful model. Surprisingly, I'm a pretty big TIE Fighter guy at the end of the day. I think it's a very slick, or sleek-looking ship. And overall, I really enjoyed the build process. Back when I built it in, 2017, I had a really fun time building it. I remember the night building it, and a night I'll probably never forget. I had a lot of fun time. I was just kind of watching YouTube, back when stuff was going real good. And, definitely at least the one in my hand, has a lot of sentimental value to me. So that's pretty much 2015, guys. Moving on to 2016, we have the 75156, the Krennic's Shuttle. Another one where there wasn't that many good UCS sets, and the Krennic Shuttle, I think for what it is, it's 100% accurate. I think it was a very nice set. At the time, it was a lot more accurate than the Kylo Ren Command Shuttle from 2015. Not to say that the 2019 isn't better than the Krennic Shuttle, but the Krennic Shuttle is definitely good for its time, and probably the least kind of interesting entry on this list. Being 2016, but moving on to 2017, we have the 75192, the UCS Millennium Falcon. I think this is an obvious one. When I was, thinking of this video idea, I knew this was going to be on there. It's a fan favorite for me, fan favorite for fans. I really didn't even have to check brick set for all the list of other sets. The UCS Falcon would definitely come out on top in the end, so there's that. Moving on to 2018, 75212, the Anakin's Starfighter. And this is definitely, actually, this is probably the least intriguing entry on the list. 2018, not a lot of good LEGO Star Wars looking back at it. Not a fan of a lot of it. The Cloud City was the UCS set then, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. A lot of people weren't the biggest fan of it, so I think genuinely, this is kind of, going back onto my full opinion, I think the Anakin Starfighter is probably the #1 set of 2018. So take that with how you want. I don't really find an issue with that, but is definitely, I wish there was something better in 2018, of course. Although the original Anakin Starfighter means a lot to me as well. So, the newer one definitely, has a place in my heart as well. Moving on to the last and final year of the decade, guys. 2019, closing this year off, closing the decade off. I think the best set of this year is the 75244, the UCS Tantive IV. And yeah, genuinely, guys, I'm a big fan of this. I have one sealed, of course. I don't have it built yet. I don't really have a lot of time to build UCS sets or space yet, but I eventually kind of do. I'm a pretty big UCS or a pretty big Tantive guy. Of course, like I was saying earlier, the Kylo Ren Command Shuttle of 2019 or the AT-ST Raider could be giving the Tantive, run for its money. But I guess I'll leave that one up to you guys. Comment down below which one you guys think is the best of 2019. I do also have a top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets of 2019 coming out tomorrow on the 31st. This is coming out on the 30th, and then I have the top 10 coming out on the 31st. And yeah, guys, I'm kind of, rushed for time here at the end of the year. A lot of stuff to have to get out, a lot of ideas I had, which hopefully I can still execute. And yeah, I really appreciate all of you guys watching. Again, comment down below, feel free to. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Bye, guys. Save 5% off on your next LEGO purchase. Be sure to use code LIFEBRICK. That's capital LIFE-BRICK at republicbricks.com for 5% off your next order. It'll pretty much pay for your shipping or get you a couple dollars off. They sell old LEGO minifigures, sets, mystery boxes, and more. I've got a couple of videos on my channel showing the products. So be sure to use code LIFEBRICK on your next order for 5%.